Phoenix Splash TV. If you're looking for the best bass player in all of Japan and J-Rock, then you have to look no further than TAIJI SAWADA. If you heard of him, then you know that he is the original bass player for X Japan. This band allowed him to become the most popular bass player in all of Japan.
TAIJI SAWADA had unmatched bass guitar skills and great music composition skills, but one cannot ignore the demons that he carried with him, and the attitude that made up who he was. Nonetheless, he is my personal idol when it comes to my bass guitar playing.
TAIJI SAWADA emerged in the music scene in 1982 after dropping out of high school. He immediately started his first band called Trash. At first, TAIJI was actually a lead guitar player. He would then sometimes switch to bass and go by the name Ray and play for other bands. From 1984 to 1986, TAIJI played with a number of bands and even crossed paths with members of Saber Tiger, which was Hide's old band. It was during this time that TAIJI would sometimes play for Yoshiki's group known as X. After playing with a number of bands, TAIJI eventually stuck with X Japan, and the rest is, as they say, history. Well, actually, his time with X did not have a happy ending.
But believe it or not, despite people saying that Yoshiki was a control freak, TAIJI actually did write a number of songs for X Japan. This includes the first track on X's first full-length album. This song is titled Dear Loser. On top of that, he also composed Phantom of Guilt, Desperate Angel, and co-wrote Exclamation with Hide. Ironically, he wrote one of X Japan's greatest ballads titled Voiceless Screaming. I say ironically because TAIJI mentioned in his autobiography that he didn't feel that X Japan should play ballads.
In 1992, TAIJI left X Japan. Now it's not entirely clear of why Yoshiki fired him. In TAIJI's autobiography, he mentions that he was asked to leave because he, quote, confronted Yoshiki about the wage differences between the members of the band. But when Yoshiki was asked about it in recent years, he mentioned that TAIJI broke a rule and crossed the line. Even in the We Are X documentary, he wouldn't mention it, and in that documentary, he was pretty much telling every detail about X Japan. So what happened between Yoshiki and TAIJI? Perhaps we'll never know.
After leaving X Japan, TAIJI bounced around in different bands. A lot of people remember him for being with Loudness, but he only played with them for 1 year. Some fans believe that TAIJI wrote the song Black Widow for Loudness, but that song was actually written by their guitar player, Akira Takasaki. TAIJI then formed his own band called DTR and would compose for this group. He would release music off and on with DTR.
In 1999, he started yet another group called Cloud9, but then decided to leave in 2001. Nonetheless, the band decided to actually continue on without him. He would return to play for them in 2007 for a little while. Here's a sample of Bastard by Cloud9, and warning, there is some explicit language.
No way! Or you end up dead in this chaotic world! No way!
One of the more rarer acts of TAIJI is a group that he formed with his sister called Orukaz. In this act, his music is more softer and acoustic, similar to the style of Voiceless Screaming, and you can even hear him sing.
He started other projects like TAIJI with Heavens, which actually continued to play after TAIJI's death. I really like the composition in this group, and the vocalist reminds me a lot of Toshi from X Japan. One of my favorite acts from Taiji is TSP, which is a project consisting of other bands he started. The band consists of Shu from Cloud9, Day from Taiji with Heavens, and Hano from Crazy Quarter Mile.
In 2010, Taiji was announced to perform with X Japan as a guest musician. That performance is on YouTube, and I'll tell you that it is one of the most heartwarming moments I've ever seen watching a live performance. Seeing Taiji and Heath play together was pretty amazing, and if you're an X Japan fan, it is a must-see.
Sadly, in 2011, Taiji Sawada died in a jail cell located in Saipan. According to many sources, he got into a conflict with a female flight attendant and forced the plane to land. It was there he was placed in prison. He then allegedly hung himself using bed sheets. His death was a shock to many people and seemed to come out of nowhere with some questioning circumstances.
There is a lot of conspiracy involving Taiji's death. While he was arrested, his email was active and apparently transferring money. Also, the FBI refused not only an investigation, but also refused an explanation to why Taiji had passed away. It seemed that investigators allowed the U production team to have more control over Taiji's body rather than Taiji's family. There's also information that the production team was insisting on having the body cremated, but finally caved in to fly Taiji's body back to Japan. During this flight, the body became corrupted, therefore an autopsy was never conducted on Taiji's body. A lot of this information has been removed from the internet, but it was originally posted on tamd.org by Taiji's own girlfriend. Why did she remove it? I don't really know, but last I checked, Taiji's girlfriend actually wrote a book which might have the information in it. If you're looking for more information on his murder, then check out my video on his death conspiracy I made long ago. So that was Taiji Sawada. Honestly, he's one of the greatest technical bass players of all time, but I felt that he had a lot of demons with it.
Yeah, aside from the demons, I like the songs Desperate Angel, Phantom of Guilt. Those songs are really, they were different from X Japan's songs like Silent Jealousy, the speed progressive metal songs that they usually wrote.
Yeah, I will say that Taiji had like a hard rock style, and Yoshiki's was more metal, I would say.
Yeah.
So do you think he's better than Heath, Chris?
Technically, yeah, he's better than Heath. But I'm not saying that Heath is terrible. Heath is a really good bass player.
I think when it came to reliability, I think that's probably where Heath outshined Taiji, because if you look at Taiji, he just went from band to band to band. He had so many groups. And whereas Heath was reliable for X Japan, and he stayed with them for a long time.
Taiji's Autobiography is a very interesting read. There's a lot of crazy things like, before X Japan was famous, he writes about how they were in a van traveling, that, the van would always break down. And he would talk about the past where he was just a kid and he was running like a restaurant. I mean, like a play restaurant with his sister and stuff like that. He also talks about the time when he was homeless, which is a very interesting time in his life. Other cool parts in the autobiography are times where he talks about how he wrote the songs Voiceless Screaming and the song Give Me the Pleasure.
Yeah, and I believe that there's even a translation of it online, right?
No, they took it away.
Oh, they took it out.
I think they took it out, yeah. I printed it out, that's why I kind of know.
See, he prints out everything on Taiji before it gets removed. So anyways, guys, what do you think about Taiji Sawada? Do you like him? Do you hate him? Do you think he's overrated? And what do you think he did to Yoshiki that made Yoshiki fire him? What was that line he crossed? Go ahead and leave your thoughts in the comments below. And as always, from the bottom of our hearts, thank you for watching. This is Josh the Music Man.
And Chris the Pocket Master.
Signing off.